Hi everybody, this is Silvio Canto in Dallas on Wednesday, December the 11th, and welcome to our video commentary. You know, maybe it's a coincidence, but I don't think so. But on the day that the Democrats presented their two articles of impeachment, polls came out that President Trump is actually improving his standing with the American people. Also, another poll came out from one of the organizations saying that 51-43 Americans do not favor impeachment. 51% say no. And other polls are showing President Trump improving his position head-to-head with many Democrat candidates. And the question is, why is this happening? You know, is it a coincidence or is there a reason for this? I don't think it's a coincidence at all. I think a lot of Americans, and I have a post about this coming out Thursday morning, but I think a lot of Americans are smarter than the Democrats when it comes to impeachment. In other words, I think Americans understand why you have to have an impeachment clause in the Constitution and why you have to impeach a president at certain points. But they also think there has to be a very substantial reason. There has to be some real substantial evidence of wrongdoing, high crimes and misdemeanors, like the Constitution calls for. But simply impeaching a president over something called abuse of power or obstruction of Congress, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, obstruction of Congress, that's completely normal. We have two branches, the presidency and the legislative, and they've always operated this way. There's always been tension between the two branches. And President Trump hasn't done anything different, let's say President Obama or some of his predecessors. I'm sure all of you remember when President Obama refused to work with the Congress over the Fast and Furious, the guns that were sent to Mexico and all of that. So obstruction of Congress is a pretty lame article. The other one, abuse of power, is even more ridiculous because abuse of power, look, every president would be guilty of abuse of power because when you exercise power, there are a lot of times when you're going to disagree with a decision, and calling it abuse of power is totally ridiculous. So not only are Americans better informed, I think, about the Constitution than many of these Democrats, but I think a lot of Americans are beginning to see through the partisan nature of this of these two articles of impeachment. They're not going to get a single Republican to support them. That much we know, in the House, that is. And how many Democrats defect? We know the last time 2 did. And my guess is that it'll be a few more, although we are hearing that the Democrats are really threatening every single member of the House to vote for impeachment, or they may face a primary challenge or whatever the situation. But at the end of the day, this is a pretty silly impeachment package that the Democrats have put together. I think Americans see through it. And that's why Americans are saying, hey, come on, work on something else, and put all of this impeachment to the side. Thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube, on Twitter, and on my blog. And if today's your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.